is thinking.
I'm dedicated to it. I can't be stopped. All right, hey, welcome back to the Ted Nugent Spirit Campfire. I'm feeling really positive, though I'm in pain from trying to traverse impenetrable muck hell. I'm like the abuse of Lewis and Clark. I'd be Sacagawea, and I would go, I can't go there. Nobody could possibly go where I went last night. So I stumbled and fell. I got the flashlight going through the sawgrass and the marsh and the reeds and the hell zone up to my nostrils, and I'm looking for the blood trail and stumbling and falling. Happy October, everybody. Now, I know a lot of this outrage, this stream, this is actually the Whitewater Rapids conscious, not just stream of consciousness. It's the Whitewater Rapids. Actually, it's a gray-black torrent rapids of stream of consciousness. My stream is a roiling, dangerous tsunami because I'm clean and sober for 77 years. And when the other side, well, we can debate Ted Nugent, sick Pierce Morgan on him. Aaron at CNN, she can get him. You can't get me. And by the way, all you people out there that love me, you know what? It's really simple. I said this to Steve Ranella on the Meat Eater. How about that Meat Eater? Hey, Steve, I love you. You couldn't be more wrong, almost Howard Stern-like when it comes to CWD. I love you, Steve. Steve wants to come down to Texas and do the Meat Eater podcast. By the way, a salute to all those meat eaters. I'm a meat eater. You're a meat eater. We are humans. We eat meat. It's food. It's protein, especially venison, which, by the way, God bless Chad Belding of The Foul Life. It's a TV show on one of those sporting networks, even though the Ted Nugent Spirit of the Wild on the Pursuit channel is the one you got to watch because it's been a top-rated conservation, entertainment, education show for the last 36 years. Shemaine and I, queen of the forest. You got to tell everybody you know there is an escape. I'm your escape daddy. But you got to be adventurous. You got to pursue not just the road less traveled. Last night, I was not a road less traveled. There was no road. No one had ever traveled there before. I went to a non-road, never traveled. Barack. So I'd like to start by thanking everybody at RAV because that Nugent's he's radical. You know how radical I am? Barack. This Hot Joe is so good. By the way, my daughter, Louisa, I love Louisa. Barack. Is that the ultimate use of that toxic syllable? Escaping gas that should escape instead of being retained that might cause bloating? Linda's loving this stuff. Linda gets such a kick out of me. Oh, boy. So we could tackle all the indecencies out there, but boy, we would need a squadron of tacklers. So tell everybody you know that if you want to escape the very painful, very challenging, the disrupting indecency that runs amok in the world, there's always your Uncle Ted, the 10 digits of doom, Reverend Theodosius Atrocious. So I am able to keep a buoyant, upbeat, positive spirit because I'm a hunter. And the spirit of the wild will cleanse your soul. In fact, I'll go here. I got this box from Jerry Krieger. And this knife from the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. What's the name of that? Oh, yeah, Marbles. Marbles nice. This is Kyle Krieger's personal knife, a Madison Heights policeman who a few years ago was having brain surgery for cancer, and his family said, he loves you, Uncle Ted, would you call him? I called him right then. I didn't say, yeah, I'll get around to it. No, I called him. And we talked about the spirit of the wild. We talked about the soul cleansing powers of God's miraculous nature. And then they buried him last week. And I have conducted myself so conscientiously throughout my life that families contact me during that upheaval and painful emotion of saying goodbye to a loved one, and they contact me because they've monitored how I've conducted myself and what I represent. Irrefutable good over evil, irrefutable positive freedom, God-given individual rights that happen to be written down in the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, but we don't really need the paperwork because our instinct tells us that God gave us individual freedom. So the founding fathers wrote him down as a middle finger gesture to King George. Are you still with me? Hillsdale College is right down the road, and Chris Kobach, the Attorney General of Kansas, is coming back here next week, and he's going to teach a constitutional course at the Hillsdale College. And he invited the guitar player because even though I never went to college because I was too busy learning stuff, and I've never read a book. Well, what books have you read? I read King Dog of the North, not all of it. Call of the Wild by Jack London, not all of it, because I get bored partway through. I've written New York Times bestseller. I don't read books, I write them. God, Guns, and Rock and Roll, New York Times bestseller. In fact, God, Guns, and Rock and Roll on Regnery Publishing, my first book on the New York Times bestseller list, they resisted because the title was God, Guns, and Rock and Roll. They can't stand that God stuff. So we would go to different bookstores and ask about my book, and somebody would come up and go, Uncle Ted, we've got a couple cases of them, but they're in the back. They won't put them on display. Oh, great. Cancel culture before it was coined. Even my records, I had people in record stores going, Ted, we got the new State of Shock record, but the owner of the record store won't display them. That's been happening to me forever. But Kyle Krieger and his family got a hold of me, and they played the Fred Bear song and gave me his personal marbles hunting knife and his personal belt hatchet. Because when it comes to the spirit of the wild and the spirit of goodwill and decency, I am surrounded by the best people in the world. It's so simple. The really, really good people love me. Idiots hate me. Well, you have the right to hate, except it's based on lies. Well, he adopted a 6-year-old. I never adopted anybody in my life. I've never adopted anybody. Well, he adopted a 16-year-old and married her. Didn't happen. Never adopted anybody. And by the way, Shemaine, I didn't know her when she was 16. I wish I would have, because she's so beautiful. She's Shemaine Nugent, Queen of the Forest. Faith and Freedom on Real America's Voice. Shemaine Nugent, my wife. She's with her dad right now. So I'm taking care of Coco, Sadie, and Jackson. But anyhow, so the Krieger family, they sent me this memorial. I tried like hell to get down there. Kyle, in the wind, he's still alive because they played the Fred Bear song. And Ted, thanks so much for that beautiful tribute you did for Kyle. You made his day when you called him after his first surgery. We played the Fred Bear song at the end of his service. There wasn't a dry eye in the place. Fred Bear's spirit lives through you, the Krieger family. Kyle Robert Krieger. So see why I'm so cocky and confident that I am in the asset column? Because the true north compass setting my parents disciplined me on, I can't believe I didn't revolt and turn into a heroin addict. My dad was so disciplinary. I love Warren Henry Nugent. What a great man. He had his failures, but ultimately he created Jeff and me and Kathy and Johnny. Johnny is in the wind. So put your heart and soul into being the best that you can be. And I know that our government has turned on us. Academia is a brainwashing propaganda ministry. The media is a brainwashing, dishonest propaganda ministry. The majority of our government, almost every bureaucracy, is a brainwashing propaganda ministry. President Trump and his Department of Government Efficiency, you've saved trillions of dollars. President Trump, we love you, we pray for you, but now, why would we have to pay taxes for many years since you found and got back the wasted, fraudulent, illegal, criminal tax abuse? Give it back to those who paid the taxes. Don't give it to illegal invaders. Don't pay for the health care for people who are here illegally. My grandparents, Rachel and Henning Johansson from Sweden, came here and they learned to speak English. They came here through Ellis Island. And the skyline of Chicago has the footprint, the handprint, the spirit print of Henning Johansson and Rachel Johansson, changed their name to Johnson. My mom, Marion Dorothy Johnson, and Nancy Johnson. Are you kidding me? Well, they're against him. No, we're against illegal everything. So the people in charge of Portland and Seattle and Chicago and New York and Atlanta and Detroit and Cleveland and San Francisco and Los Angeles, the Democrats in charge of these murder capitals are against ending violent crime. They're against the president seeing an emergency of runaway engineered recidivism. So we're sending in the troops. And the Democrats are on the side of terrorist organizations. Let me say it again. The Democrats are on the side of terrorist organizations. And I know Futterman and Governor Josh Shapiro and Manchin and maybe, I don't know any other Democrats. I know you're not for that. How can you be a part of that team? I know you're kind of speaking out against it, but your fellow Democrats are literally celebrating terrorism, and they're against President Trump going after the terrorism, the runaway engineered recidivistic violent crime with the National Guard. And the Democrats are on the side of the violent criminals, not those of us that want to reduce it and save lives. This is Planet of the Apes cuckoo's nest insanity. But I'm going to provide sanctuary when I come back for segment 3 on the Ted Nugent Spirit Campfire on Real America's Voice, because I'm your escape daddy.
For folks like me who don't agree and ain't ever gonna change, and it gets me thinking.